Okay, I'm happy to be here in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, the meaning in Spain, it's the village of the angels. Very interesting. Uh, I love angels. Okay, tonight is the Hilula of the Ramak, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, which was one of the biggest Mekubalim that we have in Am Israel. It was very, very special, very interesting Torah. He speak about everything, about colors in Kabbalah, about the meaning of the letters, about the meaning of the Malachim, how you bring Malachim, how you can speak with Malachim, how you get sign that you have shadows against you, how you know things, and it's amazing because he wrote maybe 4 books. The first book is Pardes Rimonim, which this book is a very important book because the Gaon Mivilna, the Hagra, he wrote that everyone that want to get inside to the Kabbalah, the secret of Hashem, he must learn the Pardes, because the Pardes Rimonim is very, very full of everything. Matter of fact, the Ramaki was the first one that took all the shitot in the Kabbalah, all the shitot of the Mekubalim, and he just make a seder of the shitot and learn us how to learn Kabbalah. You know, you can learn all the Shas, but when I open you Masechet Yevamot or even easier Masechet and you don't know how to learn it, so you didn't learn it, you just wrote it. Okay, read it. Okay, that's it. So we're gonna learn tonight about the Ramak Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, which was a big neshama, big tzaddik. So he has 4 books. We're saying the first book he wrote, which age? This is the Pardes Rimonim. It's very high book, very deep book, very complicated book. The Pardes Rimonim. He wrote it, which age? Who gonna tell me?
17.
No, less. איך? לא 13, אבל 23, כן, בגיל שלכם בערך, של החבר'ה הצעירים פה, in your age, he was writing a book that is including all the ways of the Kabbalah. The Ramak came after a lot of years. There was a few kinds of Kabbalah, and he just take everything and mix it to one book, and it's very tough work to understand and to learn.
Pardes Rimonim.
This is Pardes Rimonim. He had another book which called Elima. Elima is mixed with all the philosophy size of the Kabbalah, the logical, the philosophy of the Kabbalah, he mixed with it. This is the second book. The third book is the biggest book. I think it's the most long Perush that wrote on the Zohar, and it's called Or Yakar. During he wrote the Zohar, the Perush on the Zohar, he wrote a lot of Perushim, and he wrote a lot of books inside the Or Yakar. Like the book, the Ramak, that you know his, which book you know of the Ramak? Tomer Dvorah. It's not a book, it's a contours inside Or Yakar. Also Or Neirav, it's a contours inside Or Yakar. And he has a very interesting Perush of the Zohar. He take a part of the Zohar, he cut all the Zohar for parts, he take a part, and first thing he asked 10 questions. 11, 12, 13. Question. And one is more tough from the other, more deep. He asked from here to there, and why he used this word and not this word. And after it, he doesn't answer. He says, listen, now I wanna tell you one הקדמה, יסוד. I want you to understand something from the start. Let's start from the start. It's something very unusual that each ma'amar, each paragraph, you start from the start. Because this is the meaning of the Kabbalah. That each time you learn, you understanding that you are in the same situation before you learn and after you learn. Because it doesn't matter who is closer to Hashem, the table or me, if you look it from the Ein Sof. Because we all connected to Hashem, to Ein Sof. But from my size, there is a lot of difference. And that's why when we touch Hashem, the size of Hashem, we look the world in not other way, we look other world. It's just like you see something you never think about before. And that's why the Hibur, the mainly Hibur of the Ramak is the Zohar. And this was the mission of his life, to understand the Zohar HaKadosh. And you know what? I was thinking about it today, that it's very interesting. When you think about it, because he died like in 48 age, כן, 48. So he wasn't that big, and he wrote a lot. And when you think about it, the mainly issue in his life was the Sefer HaZohar. This is the mainly thing that missed him, and he looked like this is the issue of his life. I just spoke to one Talmid Chacham today. I told him, you know, you did a very wonderful work. You get step by step. Now you finish one level of your life. That's why you feel down. That's why you feel you don't have a power to wake up in the morning. And I told you, you know what? I told him, you know what? There is one thing that you missed in your life. You're missing in your life. There is something that we are missing in your life. The world is missing in your life. We're missing what you don't have. And the mainly problem that you don't have a dream in your life. Because when someone is waking up in the morning, he has a dream that he wants to come through. This is what gives him the power to wake up in the morning and say everything worth just to live and to sacrifice and to have the fire in our eyes, in our heart, and go on of what we're doing. Why? Because I have a dream. When someone doesn't have a dream, שלום עליכם. כבוד רבנו משה קורדברו. So, the dream of the Ramak was to understand the Zohar, the glory. If you think about the Zohar, you know, I wrote one time that the Ramak says we went to, איך אומרים דרום? West? South of Morocco to look for the book of Rabbi David Ra-Levi, the book of the Tzinorot. It's called Sefer HaTzinorot, which he explained all the issue, all the secret of the letters in the Torah. And they did a big sacrifice just to make their dream come through. That's why they had so wonderful, so unbelievable level in their life, in their soul. And the Ramak, all of his issue, all of his mission in life, was to understand the Zohar. Just the Zohar, you know. We know we have a kabala from Chachamim that the Zohar we have, it's only on one letter in the Torah. We have how much letter? 22. Yeah? Okay. So the Zohar is only on the letter, the 7 letter, Od Zayin. That's why it's called Zohar. But like the Zohar, and we don't have all of the Zohar, like the Zohar, we have books on 22 Chochmot, on 22 wise men, a lot of wise men, on 22 letters. And if you just look the Zohar, the Zohar is not complete. It's not, we don't have all the Zohar. You have there a lot of wise men. The wise men of the angel, the wise man of the signs in the face and the signs in the hand, the wise man of the nefesh, the wise man of the asabim. איך אומרים asabim?
Grass.
The grass, not
Wisdom,
grass like
wisdom of the grass.
the wisdom of the grass, the secret of the grass, and also the wise men of the letters, of the partsufim, of the olamot, of the איך זה נקרא, הכוכבים, of the stars, and it's all written in the Zohar HaKadosh. So the Ramak says, the Ramak look on the Zohar like the mainly issue of his life. So that's why he wrote this book, which called Or Yakar, and it's really Or Yakar. It's really something ממש יקר, ממש מדהים. The way that he learned, the way that he teach you how to learn the Zohar, how to understand in the Zohar. Also the Ramak, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, has very interesting way that is look on the Kabbalah. We know the Arizal was looking in one way of the Kabbalah. He make a chidushim, and the Ramak was in other way. And I know that people say that the Ramak was miskin with Olam HaTohu and the Arizal was miskin with Olam HaTikun. And this is a sentence that Rabbi Rama Mifano, Rabbi Menachem Azaria Mifano, he wrote it, but I don't think it's correct. It's like it sounds, because the Ramak also mix with the Tikkun, with Torah Tikkun, Tikkun HaNefesh and Tikkun HaOlamot. When we looking on the place that the Ramak, the Ramak, He wrote in שער האצילות, in ספר הפרדס, שער האצילות פרק ג', that he was a student of Rabbi Yosef Karo. And he wrote what Rabbi Yosef Karo learned him. And when you see in the book of Rabbi Yosef Karo, has a book which called Magid Meisharim. Magid Meisharim, it was an angel that was speaking from his mouth, and he was telling things like, you know, like things that gonna happen, that happened, things on the world, chidushim of divrei Torah. And the Ramak, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, was a student of Rabbeinu Yosef Karo, which he wrote also the Shulchan Aruch. When they were learning, he got a lot of secret from Rabbi Yosef Karo, from his angel and from Rabbi Yosef Karo atzmo. We see that they get a lot of level that we cannot dream about in this generation. There was also other rabbi that the angel will come in and told them Torah. You know, we in Ashla HaKadosh, in Masechet Shavuot, he wrote that was that they were sitting, and one time the angel was speaking from Aran and from his mouth, and everybody will hear the speaking what he says. He told him, listen, you're gonna go to Israel. Why you don't go? You don't want make a drashot to get back Am Yisrael b'tshuva, and make a tochacha also. And when you see it, you understand that these people were living there, in other places, in other way. And we here, we celebrate the times that they passed away, because we know the meaning. When you celebrate, we celebrate the holiday, the holy, איך אומרים? יום הולדת? Birthday, סליחה. Birthday. We celebrate the birthday. This is our our happy day. But we celebrate for them the days that they die. Why? How come? What a meaning when someone die you celebrate? But we can't, because we know that it wrote in the pasuk, "Vatishak leyom hacharon." This is the day that the neshama is laughing. Everybody is crying. She is laughing because she gonna get her sachar. The tzaddikim always they wait from the olam haba. That's why the olam haba, it's nahat from them. It makes them happy. That's why in the last day of them, we are making a celebrate that they get to the place that they always want. You know, these days, everybody says that שלושת השבועות, the 3 weeks, everybody says that it's a bad time. It's not a good time. It's a time that you're not allowed to be outside your house, go to the sea, and we see there is a big mazikim. Each year, in the 3 weeks, a lot of people, איך אומרים, טובעים, drowning? Okay. A lot of people drowning. Why? Because there is a lot of mazikim. The Gemara says, we reading here in Los Angeles, this Shabbat, we reading Parashat Pinchas. Parashat Pinchas, we last Shabbat, we wrote Balak. On Balak and Bil'am, it's wrote in Lo Kam Navi B'Yisrael Kemo She'od. The שלושת השבועות always start from Parashat Balak. Why? Because the Gemara says there is one mazik which his name is Ketev Mereri. Ketev Mereri, and he do things for people. He hurt people. This is his job. And this Ketev Mereri הזה, אז אנחנו יודעים, כמו שזה מרומז גם כן בפסוק, בנבואה, כתוב, רוטן, לא קם נביא בישראל כמשה עוד. The Gemara says, בישראל לא קם. באומות העולם, there is the biggest, highest נביא more than Moshe. Why? How come? How come you see all the goyim, they using the כוחות הטומאה, and they succeed sometimes more than חכמי ישראל? First thing we should know that חכמי ישראל, they miskin with the Torah, but they doesn't misk with the neshama of the Torah, with the soul of the Torah. So the soul of the Torah is the Torah kabala, is the pnimiyut Torah. They prefer not to misk with it. Why? There is few reasons for it. But we should know that the tikkun of the olam, tikkun haolam, the real tikkun of the olam is when we will misk with the secret. Because when you misk with the source, you can fix 10 times than someone that misk with shor shenagach et hapara. Because no one have a shor, no one have a para, but there is meaning. This is the difference between the first luchot and the second luchot. The first luchot, אם היינו אנחנו זוכים to have the honor to get the first luchot, we were miskin only with the secret. We were making mitzvot, but we were miskin only with the secret. The problem that the first luchot, they are broken. That's why the secret, the sodot, the kabala, it's not looked to people that well. Why? Because it's broken. It's a Torah that is broken. She's broken. And that's why all of the broken people can fix the world. If you broke, you can fix. Because you feel the problem. You feel the miserable. And you can have the mercy. Truthfully have the mercy. And that's why the secret is very important for us. Listen, the Ramak was very 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 big Talmid Chacham. The Ramak not just was a student, he wasn't just a student of Rabbi Yosef Karo. He also was a dayan with Rabbi Yosef Karo. Rabbi Yosef Karo, in his book, Bet Yosef, in his book, in Even Ezer, in Siman Peihet, he mentioned the fact that Rabbi Moshe Cordovero had a psak with him, and he signed with him on a psak. There is a psak that there is a lacha that if you wrote something in the ketubah for the woman, so you must give her the ketubah. But in Tzfat, they have a minhag. In their minhag, they were doing two books. One book, the things that you bring with you to the ekala, and the other book, the other page, it was the ketubah. And in the page they were writing the ketubah, including all what that we have, all what that wrote in this book. That's what they wrote in the ketubah. So there was a big machloket between the Ma'arit, I think, and Rabbi Yosef Karo, and Rabbi Moshe Cordovero was signed with them that also what it wrote in this book, it's also like it's written in the ketubah atzma. Okay? So he was a big dayan, because you cannot have a lot of secret, which is neshama, big neshama, when you don't have a big body. So that's why the halachot calls גופי תורה. The Ramak has a student. His student was Rabbi Eliyahu Devidash. He wrote very holy book. Very holy book. His book, it's called Reshit Chochmah. All the Mekubalim was learning this book. Why? Because he have a lot of Musar over there. He wrote things that you unbelievable. There is a story that his wife, when he passed away, he told her, listen, after the Shloshim, after 13 days, from the day that I passed away, I want you to bring my book to Chachmei Tzfat, to Mekubalei Tzfat, that they will take care to print it for all of Am Israel. Okay, so she take it to the Bet Adin, to the Rabbanim, Chachamim, Mekubalim shel Tzfat, and they were looking in this book, and they learning this book, and they were saying, listen, it's amazing book, but you know, it's wrote, and we say in the Tefillah, Baruch Omer ve'oseh, Baruch Gozer u'mekayem. If you wrote something like, for example, if you wrote that everybody it's good to wake up in Chatzot Laila and make a Tikkun Chatzot, it's very important. You wrote it in your book, and you yourself, you don't use it, you don't do it, so the book doesn't have as a kedusha. So they tell her, listen, there is a lot of Hasidut wrote in this book. We don't believe it that your husband did it. So she says, you know what? If he doesn't did it, so I wish this book will pass away from the world. And when she said it, there was fire that get out from the wall and burn the book, but the book stay shalem. It wasn't burned at all. That's why Chachamim yadu, this is a holy book. Also the Rashash, Chachmei Betel, Mekubalim, they were learning this book a lot. They did a minhag that each day after Aleinu Shabeach, they read one paragraph from Reshit Chochmah. And I remember also Chachamim Mekubalim Yerushalayim, in Jerusalem, each day after Shacharit, they were reading this book. The Ramak took his student, Rabbi Eliyahu Devidash, and they wrote Sefer HaGirushim. This is the other book of Rabbi Moshe Kor Devirut.
Sefer
Girushin. It sounds like divorce.
Yeah.
What the meaning of divorce? They were wrote in a get. They wrote a get, and they wrote in the get was not to their wives, the get was to the world. They wrote a get to the world, they don't want anything in the world. And then they were taking few things with themselves, only a pencil and where to write the Chidushim, and they were walking hours. And in the way that where they were going, they were saying a psukim and divrei Torah, and after a while they were feeling very, very heavy. They were sitting and let their hand wrote all the divrei Torah. And when someone read it, it's amazing. It's chidushim that you don't understand. It's called Sefer HaGirushim. They had a lot of giluim, a lot of things that we don't understand. one of the Chachamim also we have tonight is Rabbi Moshe Raphael Elbaz. Rambam Elbaz, he was a big Chacham and he wrote few books. One of his books, it's called Ketem Paz. לא Ketem Paz, Ateret Paz. Ateret Paz, he took all the secret of the letters, the otiyot, and he wrote it in few pages, very deep. Like he says, we have 4 יסודות. איך אומרים יסודות?
Foundations.
איך?
Foundations.
מה זה foundation? זה יסודות? לא.
יסוד של בניין כזה?
כן.
Foundation.
אוקיי, foundation. 4 foundation. שלום כבוד הרב, שלום עליכם. מה נשמע?
ברוכים הבאים.
ברוכים הבאים. ברוך הנמצא, ברוך
אתה רואה, דיברנו ואתם כבר כאן.
כן, ברוך השם, ברוך השם.
זה הילולה של הרמק.
כן.
איפה היין?
אתם זכיתם ברב לבר, אחד החכמים החשובים בדור, שתדעו. מחזיר העטרה ליושנה. I told them about the Zohar, about the Ramak, and it's amazing that so high book, so deep book was really in Morocco, and not just in Morocco. A lot of places, it was a book that connect to each Jew. And when we in the Moroccan people says, when you're doing a Hanukat Bait, you get inside the house, you get inside your house, the Sefer HaZohar. It's like a tekes, it's like a tradition. And it's amazing. לכאורה, כאילו, מה הקשר בין ספר כזה גדול לבין... אז התחלנו לדבר, הרב, we started to speak about one of the biggest חכמים was רבי רפאל משה אלבז. He was חכם, very, very, very big חכם. He wrote a book about all the secret of the letters. And there is 4 יסודות. We learn about the 4 יסודות, that everything in this world are made from these 4 יסודות. The first one is fire, the second is אש, איך? לא, no wind. עפר. Earth. The first one is fire, the second is earth, the third is wind, and the last one is water. When you want to know, when someone comes to you and you want to know what the meaning of this man, what he's saying to the world, what his mission, what kind of people he is. So you can look on his letter. The letter of the name say a lot. Like you have Avraham, the first name, you took the letter, you wrote it, the letter. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, He, Tet, Yud. He has like a tavla, yes? And you wrote it, and then you know the yesodot of each letter. And the first letter is the most powerful letter, and the second is less. And then you see if he had something that is, the letter is afar. So you know, if it's afar, you know this man is a statement, is someone that he had a thinking, he know what he's doing, he's not emotional. This is the afar. Also the mime have her clues, את האופי שלה, את ה... wind, it's like wind, you know. This is someone that exciting, has a power in his heart, he want to speak a lot, and אש, עפר, רוח ומים וכו'. Oh, so we're looking on his the 2 names, and the mainly name is the name that people are calling him. The problem, a lot of people, they have 2 names, 3 names, and no one calls them in this name at all. They have a kinui and that's it. They call him Stuart. Yes, but he come to the Sefer Torah, they call him Moshe Chaim. No one knows that his name is Moshe Chaim. It's a big question in Ketubot, in a lot of halachot. And you must know your name is your power. If someone don't call you in your name, you lose in power. And we should know that the names say a lot of the issue of the energy of each one of us. We don't live it, you know. We don't feel it, but it's happened. Things are happened. You come, you see people having problems, and you know that you do a goral. There is way to know how to do the goral. And then you see the goral says, he has ayin hara. People looking at him. And he told you, listen, I don't have a money, I don't have a power, I don't have anything. Why should people look at me and jealous at me? But people doesn't understand that sometimes it's not connected to what you have or what you are. It's connected how people see you. And they can hurt you. That's why we do in Haganot, we do in a lot of things that we want to protect ourselves from these things. People are looking, people are behaving, people are, you know, they don't fix their nefesh, their midot, and it's come on us, it's come on people. People are have problems. That's why we should know, and there is a kind of people that they are more sensitive to these places. That's why they need more hagana, more protect to these things of ayin hara, of kishufim, of dvarim kaele. That's why we doing the kmeot, we doing the bitulim, we doing the things that the pidyon nefesh, because you want to protect people, like people that born in mazal sartan. Mazal sartan, it's the cancer is also in the water and also out of the water. These people, they are very spiritual. Also dagim. Dagim is also, it's inside the water from one side, and they very connected to the Olam Haba, to the Mashiach. They always speak about very high things. Sometimes they don't live this life. They live like in high places, in their mind, in their thinking. They looking about the world in other looking. So that's kind of people, because they are very sensitive, things like this can hurt them. That's why they need more protect and more hagana from this problem that we have in the world. And it's also connected to his name. If his mazal is mazal sartan, but he is strong man, he has a strong name. If he has a strong name, you take this and you take that, and you make a mix, and this can help you to understand the meaning of the person, what he need, what he want. You can help him make you can help him to have the most important things in life, to understand the mission of his life. Mission is meaning. When you have a mission, you have a meaning why to wake up in the morning. When you have a dream, you have a mission. That's why these Chachamim get so higher. Why? Because they have a mission. They were connected to the dream. Their dream was to be something very strong, to touch the secret of the world. And that's why they get so much giluim that we don't understand. Why? Because when you connect it to the secret, you see things in other way. Like we have today. I know that I pray with kavanot. I waited to it to come. Just waited to come, things to come. So when someone shouted at me, I know, Yofi, it's come. That's it. This is the box. I happy. Thank you, Hashem. Someone else get angry. Why? Just I don't know. Just one man make a kaddish in Ashkenaz minyan. I don't know what you want from me. I'm good man. What you want from me? And I do it. I don't know. I'm from Migdal Amek. We said Gadal with Kaddash. Everybody shouting. This is the Sephardic tefillah. But I know when he shouted at me, I was glad. I know that I do the tefillah good. Baruch Hashem, Rabbi. It's a zchut.
I can never be away for 1 minute.
It was a big tikkun. Baruch Hashem. But that's why we know that we are fixing. We really, our praise are walking. I did the shiur yesterday. It was so wonderful. I waited after it. I wait this morning for something to happen. Something bad must happen. Not that I look for the bad thing, chas v'shalom, but I know we give something very strong. We must get back. We have a fight. All of our life has a fight. That's why that someone is mixing with the secret is get inside the war of the world, each day. And we don't afraid. Adrabah, we're happy that it happened. No, there was one guy that was collecting. He came to Los Angeles to collect, and there was a page that wrote in all the address and the ashirim. It wrote the address, the names of the ashirim, how much they give, and sometimes they were writing other things. Where he lives, he has dog inside in front of his house. So there was one ashir, there was one chacham. He's not to Los Angeles, to one place. He was knocking on the door. So the man is opening, and he starts shouting of him. What are you doing here? Go to work. You don't want to work. You don't want to do nothing with yourself. You bring a lot of children to the world. Why are you doing it? If you cannot pay it, shout, boom, close his door. But this Chacham is not giving up. He's knocking again. You are here again, shouting. You even doesn't learn. You doesn't Talmid Chacham. I know Talmidei Chachamim. You are not Talmid Chacham. And he shut the door again. Pah! This Talmid Chacham doesn't give away. Third time. He's knocked on the door, and this man is opening to him. He said, "You are still here?" He says, "Yes." "Okay, wait." He goes and he give him a big check. Give this Talmid Chacham. He closed the door. Talmid Chacham, he go to the driver to his car, and then he hear the Baal Habayit call him. "Listen, I want to ask you something." He says, "Yes, bevakasha, what do you want to ask me?" Tell him, "Listen, I shout on you in the first time. I shout on you in the second time. Why did you knock again at the third time?" He told him, "Listen, we have the page. It's wrote in the page that your name is like this and your address is like this. And it's wrote on the side that if you shout one time, you never know. If it's twice, but if you shut the door on your face 2 times, you should know that you're going to have a big check. That's why when you shout of me, I don't care. I don't feel anything. When we are walking Hashem, we know that the Sitrach are gonna make any kitrug. And if you know it before it's happened, so when it's happened, you laugh. You know, this is the time that I did a good work for the Shekhinah, a good tikkun for the Shekhinah. These Chachamim that we're speaking about them, they doesn't have nothing. They were poor people. But truthfully, when we look at it, truthfully, we are the poor people. They wasn't poor people. You know what? There was poor people, but they doesn't feel and think about themselves like poor people. A lot of people have anything, what they want, wonderful wife, wonderful kids, they have everything, and they don't agree to accept that everything they have, it's a goodness of Hashem. ושמחת בכל הטוב אשר השם אלוקיך נותן לך. And I want to tell you one secret in Kabbalah, okay? And this secret that I'm gonna tell you, this is the opposite of what everybody says in the Kabbalah and in the Halacha. Everybody says שלושת השבועות is a dangerous time. שלושת השבועות, it's not a good time. And I want to tell you something. If you look on the גלגל המזלות, איך אומרים גלגל המזלות?
The circle of mazalot.
The circle of mazalot, if you look on it, you see that the highest time in all of the mazalot, like the Rambam says in הלכות יסודי התורה פרק ג', the highest time is חודש תמוז. And חודש אב, it's the highest time that we can ever think about. בגלל הטיית הגלגל, הטיית אפוד המזלות, גלגלי ההקפה, לא משנה. I cannot explain everything. But, also Ma'achu said in ספר התחונה, that this is the highest time that in the year. That's why he call it Av. How come it's Av? Because this is the father of all over the months. Okay? We also have, like we have the mazalot, we have the houses of the mazalot. The signs of the houses is Av, Ham, Bechinam, נמאש, כן? נמאש זה נם אש או נמאש, כאלה אומרים. אז אמרנו חם, אב, בחינם, נם אש. אוקיי? It's like בתים, like houses of the mazalot. The first house is called בית החיים. The Moroccan says בית לחיה. יש כל מיני... בית, למשל, for example, the מקובלים call בית החולי, there is בית החולי. בית החולי, אז אצל המרוקאים אומרים בית לנחש, כאילו, מזל נחס, משם בא הביטוי מזל נחס. Okay. So also in the batim, the highest batim of the family, of the, to make yourself come through, to make you dream, come through in this world, the houses is in these two months. We also call these 2 months, it's against the eyes. That's why we says Ani Ordamayim, about 2 Bate Mikdash. And the Gemara says there is a Mekatreg which called Ketev Meriri, which says that באומות העולם לא קם נביא כמשה עוד. קם זה ראשי תיבות כתב מררי, which is in these days. But these days, we saying, the Ari says, in these days, please, I want you not to לכוון שם הוויה. I want you to לכוון, to think about the opposite of Shem Havaya, the letter before. Instead of לכוון is thinking about Yud Kevavke, I want you to think about Tet Daled, מה אחרי זה? Hey Daled, Tathad, כן? Why? This is the first חילוף. And the second is Kuzu. And there is a lot of חילופים. Why we are misking with the חילופים, not with the name himself? So, the inside reason is because the name of Havaya is so strong in this time, which this time is 21 days. It's called Ach Tov LiYisrael. It's so much goodness that come into the world that we can not have it. If you will mechaven in Shemot Havaya, you can get a lot of lights that you cannot even hold it. That's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, please, for this day, don't call me in my name. For example, mashal, okay? Let's say a mashal. Someone wanted to help you. You call your friend, you say, listen, you work in the bank, yeah? I need you to help me to get a load, איך אומרים הלוואה? Loan. I want you to help me to get a loan. He told you, listen, you come to the bank 10 o'clock in the morning, but please, don't call my name. Act like you doesn't know me. When you doesn't know me, whatever I do professional. I don't do it because you know me. That's why I can give you more than you know me and everybody knows that you know me. That's why these days are so holy that HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, listen, don't call my name, because I don't want other size to know that I give you a lot of lights. This is a secret from the Ramak. I want to say another secret from רבי רפאל משה אלבז, שהיום ההילולה שלו, הוא היה מחכמי ספרו, היה מקובל גדול, ביג מקובל, and also big פוסק, just like the Ramak. Yes, in ספרו. ספראוי.
יש לנו בכולל כל הספרים שלו.
כן. כן. אז he has one book which called עטרת פז. עטרת פז, in few pages, he collect all the kabala של רבי דוד רע לוי, in few pages.
That's the sefer where we found that in the back they wrote Tikkun HaKlali in Morocco.
Yes.
כדי שלא להשאיר את הדיר חלק, מישהו מהמדפיסים שם את התיקון הכללי. זה המקור שמרוקאים הם ברסלב.
חזק הרב. אז עכשיו, אז אני אגיד לכם חידוש אחד ממנו. We have 4 names of הקדוש ברוך הוא. We have 1 names, שם הוויה, יוד כו"ק. But if you wrote יוד כו"ק מלא, full, you wrote יוד ו"ד, after it you wrote hey and yud, after it vav and yud and vav, after it hey and yud. This name, if you collect all the letters, it's called Shem Ab. Why? The gematria is Ab. It's 72. Okay, it's Chesed. We have another name which called Sag. We have the third name which is called, his name is Shem Ma, Venachnu Ma. Okay? The first name is Olam HaAtzilut, the second name is Olam HaBeriah, the third name is Olam HaYetzirah. The Olam HaAsiyah is the name of Olam HaAsiyah. It's Shem Ben. How come? You had Yud Vav Daled, after it you had Hey and Hey, after it Vav and Vav, and after it Hey and Hey. Okay? Rabbi Rafael Moshe Elbaz asked one question. He says, listen, the truth is the number 9. The 9 is telling everyone the truth. How come? You take 9, if you do twice times 9, so you get כמה יש לך? 18. 18, 1 and 8, it's 9. You can use it whatever you want. Yes, if you take 9 3 times, it's 27. Yes, 2 and 7, it's 9, because 9 is the emet. The emet is 9. If you take the letter emet, aleph is 1, mem is 4, and taf is also 4. This is the meaning of emet. Emet, it's 9. So, you know, the word has two kinds of people, and it's wrote in the pasuk that we say every morning. והיה אם שמוע תשמעו אל מצוותיי. והיה אם שמוע, the first letter called shav. מה זה shav? Like שבועת shav. People say, you know, if Hashem will open me the gates, if Hashem will give me Yeshua, I'm gonna put tefillin. I'm gonna make a donate. It's like the bdicha, the story that people says that someone was looking, he was in Manhattan, he was looking for a parking. He looked for a park. It's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes. He says, Hashem, if you give me a park, I promise you, I give a donate. And as he say it, he see a park open. He says, Hashem, you know what? I arranged, thank you. And this is what we say in the first pasuk, in the three first word in the pasuk. V'aya im shamoa. When it will happen, I will be tzaddik. Let me enjoy. Afterward, I'm going to finish my enjoying, and then I'm going to be tzaddik. This doesn't gonna happen, because if you don't sacrifice, you will not get anything. And I promise you that the taste of being Yireh Shamayim and feeling Hashem, there is no woman that can make you, no money, no car, not respect, anything. This is the highest place you can ever taste. You know, sometimes when you feel it, you see all the world like, I don't know, even not garbage. When you feel Yirat Shamayim, you feel Hashem is next to you, the angel is around you. I want to tell you a story. I was learning the Ramak one day. I had the room of the Rashash, where the Rashash was learning. In this room I was learning the Ramak. Every each night I was learning the Sefer Pardes. And then we doing Hizuk, so I'm telling the story about it, but I was a bit tired. I was נרדמתי קצת, and then I saw the Ramak standing up. I see it like right now. He was standing with his glima, and it was amazing. I was scared to look on his face. I just looked on his legs. It was very high, very big. I was just look on his legs. He has a jalabia, white jalabia, and it was scary. And I felt that he tell me, listen, don't scare, and I give you a present. I wake up, I said, wow, it was amazing. And I was shocked. I was sitting, and then some kind of מנגינה, איך אומרים מנגינה? Yeah, לא משנה, song, got inside my head, and it was amazing. I was starting writing a piyut on the Ramak, and I think this is the present. The present that when you are mixed with the spiritual side of life, the spiritual side of life is missing with you. When you connect, there is something that connect to you and help you, and you don't see it. You don't see it. If you see in this eyes, in the eyes of this world, you don't see it, but you feel it inside, and you know that you feel it. You know that the Yetzer Hara give you the reason from your brain, from your sechel, not to believe it, to believe the thing that you see it. You know, sometimes I see a very rich people. I don't understand how are they worry about these things. They have everything. Enjoy. Smash all the world. Pull it off. Ramak. Zohar HaKadosh. Finished life. Halas. Heaven. Here. When Hashem will want you to take you to heaven, tell him, okay, אני מסתדר פה, thank you very much. I tell you, if you taste it, אתה לא טועה. But this world is very tough. It's a war. And the second word in the pasuk, it's והיה עם שמוע תשמעו אל מצוותיי. When someone says תשמעו אל מצוותיי, the first letter is emet. When someone said, listen, I'm not doing את תנאים. איך אומרים תנאים?
Conditions.
I don't do in conditions. I try to hear Hashem. תשמעו אל מצוותיי. When you listen to the mitzvot, you open your heart, you get the light. וזה ממכר מאוד. עבודת השם זה דבר ממכר, מי שתואם את הטעם. אז ברוך השם, אנחנו... אז רציתי, אז אני רק אסיים את החידוש של רבי רפאל משה אלבז. אז he's saying, why you say ab, you say sag, you say ma, and then you say ben, shem ben. He says sa'ab, it's 17-2. If you take 7 and 2, it's 9. Okay? Sag, it's 6 and 3. It's 9. Ma, how it's happened? 4 and 5. It's 9. Okay? Everybody emet. And he says, every name, you say the biggest one, like the asarot, you say ab, it's ayin, and bet. And sag, you say samech, and gimel. And ma, you say the 14, and then the 5. How come the ben, you say the bet first, and the nun in the end? He says, you know what? Because taf, how much in gematria is taf? It's not a tough question. 400, yeah? After we finish 400, כמנפץ, we have אותיות כמנפץ, which is the אותיות that they are פולות, כן? יש לנו אותיות סופיות כמנפץ. אז חף זה 500. חף כמנפץ, מם זה 600. נון זה 700. That's why we call it ben and not nun bet. Because if you say nun bet, how much is it? It will you have 5 and 2. It will be 7. But you say ben. Why? Because the אותיות סופיות, it's 700. nun סופית it's 700, and 700 גימטריה קטנה עם bet, it's become a 9. And this is the truth, בעזרת השם, שנזכה בעזרת השם לתורת אמת. עכשיו נשמע קצת דברים מהרב.
לא, האמת הוא שרציתי לשאול. שלום עליכם.
הרב יגיד קצת דברי תורה.
קודם כל אנחנו רוצים ליהנות מהרב תורג'מן. אין לנו הרבה הזדמנויות, יש לנו תלמיד חכם כמו הרב תורג'מן שהגיע. מה שאני אגיד דבר אחד, ש3 שבועות שעבר, לפני שבוע זה היה ההילולה של מורנו הרב באור החיים הקדוש. אז לכבוד ההילולה, אנחנו לימדתי אותם אל איגרת המסע שהרב תורג'מן הוציא בשנת תשע"ה.
תודה רבה.
ועם המכתב שם בסוף שלא יודעים שהאור החיים הקדוש מסר את נפשו בשבילנו כדי רצה להביא את הגאולה. זה בזכות הרב, זה דבר אחד. אז זה ברוך השם, זה זכות גדולה. אבל רציתי לדעת רק קודם כל, כי אני צריך ללכת עוד מעט, אבל התוכנית של הרב מחר.
אז רגע, אז נעצור את השיעור זה לחבר'ה שביקשו.
אוקיי, אולי, כן, אני לא רוצה לעצור בשבילם, כי אני...
לא, בסדר, זהו. אז בעזרת השם יהיה רצון שקדוש ברוך הוא יתמלא עלינו רחמים, זכות הרמ"ק, רבי רפאל משה אלבז יעמדו לנו באור עולם, חיים טובים ולשלום, וימליצו טוב פה על המקום הקדוש הזה, על הקהילה הקדושה, ונזכה בעזרת השם להגדיל תורה ולאדירה.
רגע, אני אגיד להם דבר אחד של הרמ"ק, של רבי רפאל משה אלבז, הוא היה באמת גאוני מרוקו, הוא כתב על כל התחומים על כל לא רק הלכה ועל תכונה
קבלה גם, כן.
כל הקבלה.
7 חוכמות גם.
כשרבי יעקב אבוחצירא רצה הסכמה, זה רק ממנו רצה הסכמה, מכל מרוקו. זה היה אור גדול, וזכינו להיות בקבר שלו. אמרתי לו לפני כמה זמן, זה היה גשם, זה היה קשה להגיע, והרגשנו משהו אדיר שם, זה משהו מאוד מיוחד. רבי רפאל משה אלבז, הוא היה ידוע, זה זכות גדול. מי היה חולם שהיינו עושים כאן בקרסת דייט הילולה לכבוד רבי רפאל משה אלבז, בזכות הרב תורג'מן. תודה רבה.
זכינו.
חזק וברוך.
יופי.